Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Strong on Flix. And I wanted to do this. I know this was a last-minute live stream, but I felt the need to do this live stream because, for one, my phone has been down for about a week. It got broke over the holiday weekend for Thanksgiving. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody, even though it's over with now. To all you guys and your families and everything. Happy holidays and all that. But yeah, I haven't been able to access a lot of my social media stuff, and I still can't right now. But I just got on today, so I seen a lot of stuff that I wanted to kind of address a little bit and talk about and everything. And we got Sil on here, made a little bit of time to slide on here, so I greatly appreciate that, Sil.
Definitely, no problem, bro.
But Jeffrey. So, how'd your holiday weekend go? Everything go smooth, brother?
Yeah, everything went.
A lot of turkey.
Yeah, ate a little bit of turkey. Yeah.
And Super Mama 81. That's BM. How you doing, baby? Slipknot fan. He said you late. What do you say? You laid an Axl Rose for a Guns N' Roses concert today, my man.
That's
yeah,
funny.
my bad. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. What it do, players? What's up, man?
Chubby Teddy.
Man. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of things. Most of them, was in the title, but I just wanted to get you guys' everybody's thoughts. Like, what do you guys think about the current trajectory of Black Adam? And me personally, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I don't think it was a masterpiece, but I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the passion that was behind it. The fact that dude fought to get our boy Henry Cavill back as Superman. That was dope. I know us all being hardcore fans, we probably seen that leaked scene probably 4 or 5 days before it released theatrically. Most of us did, but it still was still nice to see it nonetheless. By no means do I want this movie to not do well or anything like that. And I wouldn't say that. I think I would change my stance a little. I wouldn't say that it's tanking, but I think it's clear that this movie isn't doing very good as well as it should be. And this is an issue we've seen with DC movies in general so far. And again, this I know that this movie is part of the old regime slate. This am I right? So this isn't got Zaslav or Gunn or anybody on it.
Right. They did add the reshoots. obviously the Cavill scene.
Oh yeah.
And the Amanda Waller stuff. So yeah.
Right on. But for the most part, this is the Rock's passion project, and I dig the fact that to me I seen a couple of heavy Man of Steel references in there, visual references, to say the least, and then the fact of having the man himself come in, I respected that. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I don't think the movie's a masterpiece, but I'm like, all right, I'm down. I took my family to go see it, my whole family, because it actually came out about 3 days. It was on my birthday weekend, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? So I took, my son, my girl, my family with me, and we went and seen it, and we enjoyed it. But I believe that the budget for it was $200 million, if I'm not, unless I'm incorrect on that. I believe it was $200 million. And I remember hearing, because I watch your channel frequently, Sil, and stuff like that, and I remember when you were talking about a different movie, a different time, about the rule of thumb and stuff like that, and I've heard it before. So ain't it how it goes? It's like if it stands the reason that your budget is $200 million, don't you double that for marketing? And wouldn't that put it at around like 400 something million that it would need to make back or to break even? Or was that, how does that go, Sil?
Well, that's how we're used to it, where you look at the budget, and in some cases you times it by 2.5 in some cases. That's the old way to do it, actually. But what Zaslav and WBD has been doing is implementing a new way of marketing. So this is one thing Zaslav taught to the last couple earnings calls He explained to
Okay.
people that, hey, this is what we're doing with marketing. Instead of making deals with I was like, where'd he go? Instead of making deals like with Little Sisters, doing a back calzone pizzas, which
Yeah.
without money for marketing. Zazov's like, no, that's the old regime. We're not doing that. What we're gonna do is we own 30 channels, 30 cable channels. We own,
Okay.
sports, like their TNT. So we're gonna spam Black Adam on all of our channels and save millions of dollars, tens of millions, maybe even 100 million. There's the real number's not out there. So according to Zazov and his chief financial officer, they saved a lot of money marketing Black Adam, and Zazov focuses on a domestic run. So you have nearly 170 million, and he wants to have that doubled internationally, and they have, I think, nearly 400 worldwide. So they're actually on pace. Now, obviously, I mean, do they want Wakanda Forever money? Of course. Everyone would want Wakanda Forever money. But for a Black Adam franchise, with like The Rock said, no one knew who as far as we knew, we're hardcore, comic people. The general audience, they didn't know who Black Adam was. They're like, what is this? Like, it's just The Rock. I just see The Rock right here. So
The Rock being The Rock.
So he launched a franchise, and getting it off the ground, do good domestically. Now it's on digital. Let's make money physical media. So it's not a blockbuster hit, but it is, by their metrics, it is making money. So you're gonna see.
All right. See, and and that's what I wasn't quite sure about, because like I know right now that the numbers that were being thrown, and like again, it's really up in the air. What you just broke down sounds makes a lot more sense. But initially, I was hearing it needed to make around like 450 million worldwide at the end of its run to be profitable. But that again could have been old standards, and like you said, but I see now that it is Sunday, right? After the holiday weekend, and they've updated the numbers, and I think it's sitting around 375 million or something like that, roughly. So I don't know how long this movie's going to be in theaters per se. They could keep this. I don't know. I don't know how that works. If they're just going to try and milk it, and keep it in there and get it to where it needs to be, because it is still making money. I mean, obviously it's went down dramatically. The trajectory of it has went down. It's been in theaters, I think, like 35 days now, 36 days, something like that. But I think that that really helped, and that was a good call. Them adding Cavill and getting him up in that movie. I really think that helped a lot. I believe that honestly, had it leaked sooner, that maybe the trajectory would have been even higher. But this is something I feel like that right now with with the new regime, that it's until these new plans, because right now I also, that's another talking point that I heard, which is true, is the slate and everything that we know about now is for like the next year to year and a half, right? Correct. Like that's what we know about, really is like Aquaman 2 in the Lost Kingdom, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Black Adam, Shazam 2. But anything beyond that, is, right now I think it's too early. Nobody really know. I don't think that's been really disclosed, a lot of it, or leaked, or however you want to put it. But but right now it's like I've been having like my thoughts are like, I think my question I guess is like, should the new regime be a little concerned? Because if I put up, I don't know if anybody's seen it, it was like a week ago, I put up this post that I found and I shared it, and I thought it was pretty interesting, and it compared all the DCEU entries when it was DCEU and not DCU now, as they've dubbed it, all the side-by-side comparison of the movies from Aquaman 1, past Aquaman 1 till now, and the movies from Aquaman 1 backwards, right? And they've been on a steady, and I know that they've been using that, COVID, the pandemic, but if you look, though, the trajectory for the box office has continued to go from down and down and down. Now, this movie might be profitable, profitable. And I don't, like I said, I don't want it to fail. But do you guys think that that's cause for them to take that into consideration while hashing out these new plans moving forward that apparently nobody knows anything about yet? That I'm hearing. Do you guys think that that's something that James Gunn and Duke should be taken into consideration moving forward with this slow crawl of Black Adam?
Well, I guess for me it kind of depends on really how they're looking at it, and a lot of people are a lot of people have kind of brought this up to me as well when people were comparing the Batman and when a lot of people were comparing the Batman to BVS. People were talking about if you take away the inflation, the inflation of how the ticket prices have been, that kind of put things into kind of perspective as well, because people did say that. I think people have said that the Batman made around 700 million at the box office, and then some people have also kind of like let's try to take down the inflation of that box office to see where it lands. And I forgot what it was, but I do remember it not being well if you take away the inflation. So really, like I said, I'm not really a huge numbers guy especially when it comes to the box office. I'm not a mathematician or anything, but basically it was like if you take the inflation away of the current prices for tickets, like it's not very good. But so really, like I said, it just kind of depends on the point of view you're going at.
Okay. And Slipknot fan said made this point. Cavill saved the movie from total failure. I wouldn't say that he saved it from total failure, but yeah, it's to me, if I was James Gunn, the new studio head, like I would be looking at all the working factors, and who's to say that he's not? Who's to say that he's not? But I'm thinking, like, without that little boost from Henry Cavill, and that being leaked, which that could have been intentional, unintentional, or planned, or it doesn't matter. But I really feel like that's given this thing a small set of legs, and hopefully, they can at the very least, make a small profit margin of something off of it, and it's looking like they possibly will. Just depends on when they yank this thing from theaters and other things. But here's the thing, though. I've also seen a lot of James Gunn right on social media, a whole lot, and there's a lot of stuff on there that I just is questionable. Like I've seen him on there, right, going at these, like, clearly you click on the account and it says they got 12 followers, and their profile picture is either just nothing or it's like there's a cow emoji or some shit. And I'm like, why is this dude responding to these bot accounts? And someone's like, something, yeah, but something about Snyderverse or some shit. And he's like, I see 1,000 comments of valid questions from people that I know have been in the community for a long time. They get ignored, which again, he stands to reason, and an argument could be made that he's very busy hashing out the plans for DC for the plans, the 10-year plan. But it's like, okay, so you've got time though to respond to bots and paint a certain set of individuals in a negative light based off of what's clearly a burner account, but you don't got time to clarify anything else. And then another thing that I have issue with is are we going back to the and again I'm talking about James Gunn and the way that he is handling things right now specifically. Why are we going back to the we don't know and we can't know who the fuck is playing Superman and Batman?
Right.
Because to me, I don't feel like I don't feel like that's a good move. Like, I just don't. I understand that he wants to keep whatever he's working on a secret until he's ready to reveal it. I get that. And I'm not, and who, but leaks do happen. That's just part of the industry. It's always been that way, and it always will be. And I see him really coming out hard at not only bot accounts, but large, news sites, scoopers, just all over the place. They're just kind of odd to me. And I just really, I'm thinking to myself, like, why isn't he paying attention to what his movies? He's in charge of what's going to be dubbed now DC Studios and the DCU. So why aren't you focusing your energy on why the fuck is Black Adam barely crawling into making a profit margin? And why is that? Because to me, it absolutely is only getting the small legs it's getting to get it into that profitable margin because of Henry Cavill, which is, again, hate The Rock or not, because of him knowing that, hey, clearly that was a strong sign at Comic-Con, where the fans were like, boo, you know what I'm saying? No Henry Cavill. That was like what took it over the edge. We didn't know that he was working already. And I don't know when the timeline was, but in my opinion, he was probably already trying to get this hashed out. And that's what made the green light happen. When that happened, you know what I'm saying? Studio was probably like, all right, go, Zaslav or whoever was probably like, all right, go ahead and you know what I'm saying? Get Henry on the phone or whatever. It just seems to me like not, pissing off your fan base and not paying attention to what works and what don't. You don't got to please everybody. Hell, he don't got to please anybody on this panel, but as a studio head, should he be concerned about these kinds of things? Because it seems like he's more interested in spending his energy elsewhere. I just kind of wanted everybody's, and again, I'm not bashing the dude or nothing like that. I'm just, just kind of weird to me. I just kind of wanted everybody's, thoughts, or what is your guys' take on all of that?
Well, go ahead, Jeff.
Phil.
Okay.
Well, really,
So
for
as
my
far as-
take,
Yeah.
yeah.
So as far as with this,
Yes, I'll go first. Then I'll go first. So as far as I'm concerned, I know Util probably has his Cooper brain going on in his head, but as far as I know, like really with how everything was going on about how with that Variety article claiming that Henry Cavill was going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, which obviously that didn't happen, but there were still rumblings about that. So at that time there were still kind of rumblings, so they were kind of half right on that. But really, in terms of like the whole alienating thing, like I do really agree with that. Like you shouldn't alienate your audience and really that whole thing. And I do think that having Henry Cavill in Black Adam did help out, because a lot of people have been clamoring for Henry Cavill to be back as Superman, Snyder fans and non-Snyder fans, by the way, because I saw people on Twitter who weren't Snyder fans saying, yeah, I want Henry Cavill to be back as Superman. So in that instance, bringing Henry Cavill back brought some more butts and seats in that scenario. And in terms of the Rock being booed at San Diego Comic-Con, saying we don't know what Superman we're going to have in the DCEU, that obviously was a sign, because I'm gonna go into a whole wrestling news story real quick, where we kind of had that scenario not long ago, like a few years ago, when a WWE superstar Roman Reigns, The Rock cousin, won the Royal Rumble, and at the time, Roman wasn't really loved. Like the crowd did not love him at all, and so what happened was Roman Reigns ended up winning the Royal Rumble, and he was getting booed out of the building, pretty essentially. And well, actually, no, that really is exactly what happened. He was getting booed out of the building.
Keep that question up there. Yeah.
And then what happened after was The Rock came out with his whole music and everything going on, lights and glamour and all that. And The Rock was still getting booed by the entire building. And actually there was an article that came out saying that Dwayne was kind of upset by that. I forgot what it exactly was, but yeah, basically what I'm saying is The Rock getting booed is definitely a bad sign, because that rarely happens when The Rock isn't trying to get booed. So,
let's go ahead and take this one real quick, Jeffrey, from the Movie Raider. He says, "Sil, please answer. Are you claiming 100% that the Snyderverse restoration is a done deal? Question mark. What would you be willing to swear on it? Because a lot of people call you and Mikey a liar."
So that's a question. I'm not gonna call it a good question, but it is a question, and I don't mind any question. Like we live in the time of Google. This is the Google age, where we shouldn't have misinformation, right? It's somehow you know what I mean. But as far as me personally, I started getting sources July of this year, right? And I put out the Ben Affleck and Aquaman scoop. That's where a lot of geek sites started covering me, because I put out that story before he was on set, and then I had the scene description. You mentioned Black Adam. I had the Cavill scene description before it came out, where he came through the smoke and dust and the suit and all that stuff, right? So just off of my sources, I will say I was never told that Zach was 100% back. I did say they want to keep his timeline, or keep Cavill and Ben, so the past still happened, and there's a new story going forward, and Zach could possibly come back to do a team up. Okay. That's as far as my information goes. As far as with Mikey, Mikey feels that Zach's coming back, and I've learned to trust Mikey Sutton. So what I would say, if people think that means that's 100%, then Google is your friend, and be really clear when you make an accusation about somebody, because there's really no excuse to miss the mark on that.
Right, and and the other thing I want to talk about too is I seen that James Gunn responded to something Henry Cavill related on Twitter about Geekosity or something. I put up something about that last episode on here, and I think a lot of people missed the whole point that I was trying to make, because right now there's clearly this hate trend going on with all scoopers, right? That, in my opinion, that includes Mikey, you, anybody, right? That I've seen and noticed, right? And I really feel that James Gunn is kind of stoking.
I'm still listening. Just letting you know.
Okay. I really feel that James Gunn is kind of stoking that fire a little bit, with that side of the fandom, and and weirdos and goofballs out there, And I think the bottom line is that he's trying to get across is that he don't want anybody to know, anything, and again, that kind of falls back to the point I was trying to make, is like, leaks get out there. This is very common. It's been a part of the biz for a long time. And, I just, again, it's just like, should he have energy focused elsewhere? I think so. I think absolutely so, that, that James Gunn should have his energy focused elsewhere, because, I don't see him answering any of the big questions. I don't see him even writing up, something that's kind of PR team related, like, something that don't really ask questions but explaining himself a whole lot. You put out that one big article talking about, we want to acknowledge the fans and all that, which you can tell that he worked on that for a while. But I really don't think that going at scoopers, going at bots, going at news reporting article sites and shit like that is where he should be spending all of his time at. I think that really he should be focusing on what's going on with the trajectory of Black Adam right now and learning from that as he creates his 10-year plan. There's also been a small portion, I won't say a large, but a small portion of people within the fandom that are on this just like hate wars with news reporting of any kind, scooping, anything anything related to anything, and I've had like a couple of people that I've spoken to that I speak to regularly, just come say the most off the wall shit, to me in my video threads and stuff like that, like, it's dead, you need to move on. I'm like, what? We're part of the move on crowd now? And right. People saying, delusional individuals don't take the head of DC Studios serious enough. Like, and it's like, man, clearly, you could just, you're supposed to be my homie, man. Like, what's going on? Like, right. I don't know. But I think that people, like my last video, it said, I believe it said James Gunn versus Geekosity, right?
Yeah,
and I just want to be, and I just want to be clear, like I said, I wasn't trying to put myself in the middle of anything. I think that some people missed my point of the video was that, should James Gunn, and that's the question at the end of the day that I was trying to get across is this where the newly appointed DC Studios head should be putting all of his time and energy at? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
it's very weird energy from James Gunn. And so first off, like, I feel, and this is how I started my channel, I feel I'm all up for debunking anything. If something's false, I want, I will get the proof and show why something is false. Okay. So I'm all for that. But what I'm not for is, like you said, the misplaced energy to go at Geekosity.
Yeah.
Because, what Mikey said, that's a top 5 geek site worldwide. So James Gunn coming out against and really being goaded into going after Geekosity. That's a whole story with that. I thought that was misplaced. And then what he was trying to debunk, which was very weird energy. And what I mean by that article was talking about Henry Cavill having multiple appearances going forward. Now, you listen to The Rock, even after that, The Rock even came out and said, yeah, we're going to build out the DC universe. Cavill's back, Superman. That's literally all the article said.
And didn't Henry Cavill say he was back in a video?
Yeah. So trying to debunk, an idea that Cavill was going to have multiple appearances. It did also say possible TV or streaming. So I don't know if that's what Gunn had a problem with. But a lot of people walked away from Gunn trying to debunk that, feeling, hey, is Cavill really back?
Right.
And then the Rock came out. So I do feel that was an irresponsible reply by co-head of DC Studios, James Gunn. And at the end of the day, that article is going to be proven right. So then what was all this for?
Well, I think I can tell you what it is for, because Phil, I think you're not looking at it from James. I think you're not looking at it from James Gunn's point of view.
I don't have to.
No, Phil, you're not. You hear me out. I know you're saying that you don't have to, but you have to look at it like this way. Let's have a little bit of fun with this idea. Let's say you're head of a DC film, and you're not working for Geekosity. Let's say you're not working for Geekosity. No, like you're not working for Geekosity. Yeah, you're James Gunn's body. You don't know anything about Geekosity. So and you're seeing Geekosity saying these things, and you're head of DC, and so what do? You and you're thinking, and let's hypothetically say that these are correct. Let's hypothetically say these are correct, because I really haven't looked at the articles themselves. I've just seen the titles and scrolled up, really, because I'm being honest. I'm just playing the waiting game because I feel like that's more fun than actually being the scoop game, because I just find it more interesting with the whole mystery aspect. But that's neither here or there. But but I'm seeing what James Gunn is doing, and it's really no different than what any normal person would do, which is saying like, no one knows what we're doing. Like, that's the thing. You're not looking at the,
Well,
like,
that's
I'm
your
trying to,
opinion.
no,
Like
wait, no.
you can just just state your opinion. No one has to agree with your opinion, but go ahead.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, like, think about it like this. Like, if I'm James Gunn, I'd be doing the exact same thing that he's doing, which is hypothetically saying, if this geekosity stuff is true, which is like saying, hey guys, no one knows what we're doing. Like, no one knows what we're doing. And my thing is, like, I haven't been reacting to any of this. Like, I've seen what you've been doing. I've seen what Grace Randolph has been doing on Twitter, which a lot of people have been reacting to this stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm just looking at it at a whole different lens, like a whole chessboard thing. So I'm just saying that you can do what you do, but I'm just looking at this. I'm just trying to look at the bigger picture here on everything.
Okay. So James Gunn calling Geekosity a liar. That's
Right.
what the word said. So you
Yeah.
either lied to or taken advantage
Yeah.
of. It's like he didn't even read the article because
Yeah.
first off, Mikey Sutton was covering two other sites, GFR and Small Screen. So to target Geekosity, like you're saying, Jeff, well, just a normal person would do that. I think a normal person would read the article and really if you really mad at Small Screen, then call them a liar. But so
plus he's not a normal person though, is he? Though
Wait.
is he? Still? He's not. He's the fucking executive of DC Studios now.
That's all, right?
But that, to me, that was a really reactionary thing to do. Like as like Jeff put it, like as a normal person, and I think that's where even me, I have to say, like where my issue is. Like, you're not a normal person though. You're an executive of DC Studios, and everything you say and do, everything you choose to reply to and choose not to reply to, sends an overarching message. Yep. For better or worse. And I think that I can respect what Jeffrey's saying, but to me, I took it a little more like as it was. I think it was pretty clear what he was saying and what his intentions were, and I believe that they were just in that matter specifically were woefully ignorant. But that's my take on it.
Stepping from that, I'm sorry, like with as co-head of DC Studios, as the exec, right? Wouldn't you want to hype up DC? Like Cav already said he's back. The Rock keeps saying it. So why cast any doubt who's Superman? Because that's what he accomplished. Now, as far as like internet trolls and stuff like that, anyone that so-called didn't believe Mikey Sutton before that, those are the same ones that paraded and said, "Oh, he dunked on Geekosity." They never read anything from Mikey. They just didn't like scoopers or anything like that. Things like that. But just overall, casting doubt on Cavill being back was a very weird move.
Yeah,
that's a question we shouldn't have anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous part to me about what he did, because the biggest thing that's been pissing fans off, and I can say this because, and we all know this because we're deep into the shit, most of the normies ain't, but that's the biggest thing though. Your biggest consumer base, the biggest thing that's been fucking with them for the longest time is ever since Justice League, the theatrical cut, like, who's Superman and who the hell is Batman? You know what I'm saying? And then finally, you know, we have Zaslav come out, you know, and basically say that he wants to fix that. Now, he doesn't use some exact words, but that's the overall message, right? Then we have The Rock come out. It's here's who Superman is. And then we have Henry Cavill come out. I'm Superman. And then to backtrack from that, and essentially, and then we've got, you know, confirmed Ben Affleck's not only going to be in Aquaman 2 now with reshoots or add him in or whatever, he's also in The Flash. So in a sense, it's like, okay, so we went from knowing who Superman and Batman is, so now we're back to square one.
Nobody
this
knows.
Is what you don't want to tell nobody shit, but then the little bit of shit that we do got, you want to come in and just stomp on people's fire and take a shit in their egg sandwich, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. And it's like, I don't get, like, like I said, if it was any one of us, you know, people tend to be reactionary. We're all just people. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, a higher responsibility. There's a reason why they won't just hire me, you, or this guy at the bus stop to work and run a fucking studio the size of DC and Warner Brothers Entertainment, because we're not qualified to. So, you know, again, if he was just a person, you know, I could understand that, but he's not. He's James Gunn for one, and now he's not just James Gunn. He's DC studio head James Gunn, and that's really the overall message. Like I said, that I was trying to get out there to people was, you know, just because you can do something, does that mean that you should? You know, whether he's right, whether he's wrong, whether we're right or we're wrong, that's not the point. The point is the overall is what you did in that position. Everybody's watching you, you know, and perpetuating this animosity that's within the normies, the fruit, you know, the weirdos, the hardcore fan base, and all the people in the middle. Like, it created a firestorm, so to speak. Yeah. And that we need less of that shit these days. You know, we need.
He was inflammatory, right? Like, he's the one that inflamed people. You know, he needs to just be working on that slate. T-Flame. That's what he should be worried about.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Yeah.
And really, like, the thing is too. Like, I know a lot of people have been also saying this when it comes to what he's doing at Marvel with him promoting the Guardian stuff. And really, I said this on Twitter, and a lot of people were being like we're being very, man, you're head of DC, you're not supposed to be talking about Marvel and all that stuff. And I put out a tweet that basically said that I do get where everyone is coming from the DC side. I really do. But when you consider everyone else who worked on the Guardian stuff, like from the holiday special, which I haven't seen, but from to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, like, when you consider everyone else, like, that would be really jerkish for him to do, to just up and leave the whole project because he's head of DC. Like you could say that all you want, that he's head of DC and all that, but really just kind of consider everything else that really just consider the entire cast and crew of the Guardians franchise has went through with James Gunn. So, like, in terms of him promoting the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, I'm just letting him do that and letting him be him on that, because it's like, yeah, it makes sense for him to promote his final Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Yeah, and you know, and honestly, with that, Jeffrey, I didn't never really take any issue with that per se. Yeah. You know, Warner Brothers knew what they were getting into when they hired, Marvel director James Gunn, who's still in the middle of doing Guardians 3. He's been working on working on that project and closing out that chapter, with Marvel for quite some time. So yeah. I'm sure that was probably one of the first things that they gently, lightly spoke about when they hired him in the position that he's in now. Clearly, there was an agreement on it, because if they didn't want him to do it, he wouldn't have done it, and jeopardized a position of that high authority. So, to me, I don't really feel any way about it. Personally, I never had no issue with it. I do get why the hardcore heads, I know some of the hardcore heads, might have, but I don't really mind that so much. But Teddy.
Yeah, I was saying, he's coming out of Marvel, and so it's like I don't see a problem. Now, I wish he would mention some more DC stuff. That way.
Right, exactly. And I think that's part of the problem that some of the hardcore heads had. It's like, so wait a minute, we can't know who Superman is now. We can't know who Batman is now. We can't even talk about this shit now. But let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, boy. If you don't get your I could kind of see how that would rub certain small portion of people the wrong way. No, that's just I just and I've even and it just to me, like I said, so far, like I don't really know, me personally, I don't know Geek Odyssey, Mikey Sutton, all that well and all that. They seem like they're all right, I know you, Sil, and with what you've reported on your channel so far, and this is just me personally, I haven't seen anything that you've missed yet, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's not neither here nor there. I'm not trying to get into, like I said, that's not really my position to. I don't really involve myself in this stuff like that, not just with y'all, but with anybody. But my thing is like, I just don't like seeing this dog pile effect. Is what I see, because I see even Chris Wong. Not recently, but in the past, I've seen Chris Wong. I've seen the Film Junkie. I've seen multiple huge talking heads like just come out and even though they don't mention y'all by name, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, really, is that what you guys are trying to say? Like, and then to see James Gunn come out and do this himself. But not even read what he was read the articles or read what they were talking about, And now it's just like this thing with like a small portion of the weirdos, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, everything is dead. Quit speculating. You're not allowed to speculate anymore. You're not allowed to talk about it anymore. How dare you disrespect James Gunn by talking about him? And it's like, the guy hasn't even done anything yet, good or bad, to be, of course he's I'm going to critique. I have the right to critique whoever the hell I want. And as a hardcore DC fan, as of now, he hasn't done anything in this new position or released anything for me to critique. But I'm watching how he moves. And I absolutely feel I have the right to critique how he's moving. And that's all I'm saying is, should he be moving like this? Like, I have faith in Zaslav. And here's another thing I want to talk about, right? So something that Gunn did say that caught my attention. He said that in a couple of, nobody knows, when he hasn't disclosed his plans to anybody, not even the board or Zaslav, and that they're going to be doing that in a couple of months, though. This is according to Gunn. Now, okay?
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. Like I said, if that is true, God help us all. But if that's the case, right? If that's the case, doesn't that set him up for like, by him saying that? If it is true, though, right? Isn't he admitting that he's setting himself up for failure? Because it's like, you're moving very odd right now, and if you ain't got this in the bag with this 10-year slate, you're saying there's a chance that you could present this to the board and Zaslav, and then now get that out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, one thing people gotta realize, as far as like different content creators, speaking personally about any other content creator, I don't get in the middle of that or like critiquing people, because I think just I go off of evidence. So I know what I put out there, and that's why I say critical thinking. You see it for yourself, take it or leave it, right? So, but as far as with Gunn, yes, he is putting tremendous pressure on himself. Now Zaslav, again, he spoke, and on my channel we've covered Zaslav a lot since before the merger even closed. We was talking about Zaslav and Discovery. Zaslav talked to the money people on the earnings call, and he said that they was building this 10-year plan before Gunn was hired. He said, I'm bringing in Alan Horn with Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi to build this structure again before Gunn was hired. And then after Gunn was hired, Zaslav said, we sat with Gunn and Safran, me, Mike DeLuca, and everyone. We So there is a skeleton plan. Is the point that I'm trying to make. So now what Gunn is doing is filling in the, him and Safran. Yes, they are in charge of filling in the blanks, but trying to say that no one knows anything. Well, pretty sure Wonder Woman 3 is happening. Pretty sure that's happening. Before Gunn was hired, they said they were developing the Superman film with Cavill and that Charles Roven was producing it. So we know that's happening. So why even cast doubt and things like that? Constantine 2 with Keanu Reeves. That's happening. A Green Lantern series with Jon Stewart. Mike DeLuca announced that before they hired James Gunn. So to just do this whole general swooping statement, no one knows anything about anything. It's like, okay, calm down a little bit, Gunn. Like, let's get this slate done. Because if this slate ain't popping, man,
if this slate ain't popping, you're gonna be a lot more critiquing coming your way, and from a lot of people too. And that's really just what I wanted to gently touch base upon. I'm not individuals that may or may not be all in the hate game and the hate shame and the dogpiling. I don't call out individuals and do all that riffraff and all that. But I really just wanted to speak up a little bit about some of the stuff that I've seen going on, and really just talk about this odd behavior of our now DC studio head, James Gunn. And again, I've never been personally, I've never been a Gunn head. And at the same time, I have enjoyed his Guardians movie. They are popcorn flicks, to say the least. Nothing that I took away from it that was like, wow. But I enjoyed them with my kids, and there's something out there for everybody. So, but me being a hard DC head, it's like, of course, this man's gonna be critiqued to some degree, and by the likes of a lot more than just me. And I feel that there's like this odd rift going on right now. Like, if you talk about James Gunn, then we can't. When did we stop critiquing? And I was talking to an individual the other day, and I was saying, this is still the same. I get that this is a whole new regime, but there's going to be some critiquing. Obviously keep it positive, but there's going to be some critiquing. I mean, this is the same studio that lied to the fans and bait and switched for years and years with their movies, with what direction they were going in. And even though this is all new people, they've got to do something to show us that, hey, we know what we're doing now. This is what we're giving y'all. We're going to work on our plans. We're going to get this airtight. And if the plan really is to stretch this across, make everything across the TV, to the games, to the movies, canon with one another, that seems like that's a lot of work, and maybe we should be working on that. I don't know if that is the case, but that's what I've seen and heard, just me being me. But
I think overall, I mean, as far as like the scooping side and things like that, again, I think people, they've already made their mind up on regarding any outlet. If they already don't like the outlet, they're using any situation to dump on an outlet. But I'm gonna be really honest, I don't really take it that seriously, because I have my track record and I have my proof there. So it's like, if you could read and count, then it's really simple to me. But as far as the behavior of James Gunn, again, as a DC fandom, we've always critiqued execs, and we've always wanted to make sure we want them to hear us for what we want. Now, I will say this because people are like, well, okay, James Gunn, what do you think we're really going to get? Hey, well, first of all, he's co-head, so Safran is going to have a word in this. Zaslav is going to have to approve anything, so that's something to keep in mind too. But I do believe, but we already know Cavill's back. We already know Ben is there.
Yeah.
I believe, that Gunn will get Zack Snyder back. I do believe that. But at the same time, I do believe we're going to get some Batmite and Weasel films and Peacemaker. So I think it's going to be a mixed bag, right? So
and
once that slate is done, it will leak out, and you'll probably find it on my channel when those projects leak out. So yeah, we're waiting on that.
All right, nice. Hey,
Well,
all right, hey, I'm looking forward to it then.
I mean, like, yeah, like pretty much kind of like what Still said, like critiquing executives is going to be inevitable. Like, and this isn't even a foreign concept, because you have critiquers of what what the MCU is doing. You have critiquers of what Lucasfilm is doing. Like, you're gonna have critiquers everywhere you kind of go at, and really, like, execs can really hate that. Like, a lot of people can hate that, period. But it's kind of like what I always say. It is sadly normal about these things. So yeah, but in terms of like the slate, like from what we're hearing, it sounds pretty interesting. But really, we won't really 100% know what the slate is until we actually get an announcement saying like, hey, we're doing this and we're doing this and we're doing this and we're doing this and we're doing that, and so on and so on. But yeah, until then, like I said earlier, like I'm just watching this whole thing go down with what James Gunn and with the whole James Gunn, and I'm using air quotes here, whole James Gunn versus Cooper's thing going on that people have dubbed it. But yeah, like all I'm saying is I'm pretty much having fun enjoying the show.
And this comment, I believe, is for you.
Yeah.
Sil. I believe this is for you. This is Chubby Teddy Monster Productions again. He said, but isn't Abney, DeLuca, and Lavaman the committee that has final say on what is greenlit and shot down?
Yeah, so I mean, DC Studios, when it was announced, James Gunn and Peter Safran appointment in those positions, they said they would be working closely with DeLuca and Abdi, who are Warner Film heads of Warner's overall. But it is up to Gunn and Safran to put this plan together. They were given again a blueprint, and it was like you fill it out, and they answer directly to Zaza. So just I guess to answer that, I'm sure Abdi, DeLuca, they will have input because they are they over Warner Brothers films. But,
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that. I mean, if Gunn comes with if he comes out there weak, because see, I believe Gunn is going to give people. I think we're going to get everything, but what I mean everything, I mean it's probably some of the stuff you don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to get Zach back, but then we're going to get some of those weird projects and maybe people don't want to see.
We will.
Yeah.
And I think Gunn knows that too. And
yeah.
Real quick, because I know Jeff, you was talking about his, from Gunn's position. I'm sure he doesn't want people to steal his thunder, and I get that.
Yeah,
right? It's like I understand that. Now, when something leaks out, that's just there's nothing you can do. It's going to leak out. I mean, I had sources. They hit me up the day after. They was like, as soon as that leaks out, we're gonna throw it out there. They don't care, bro. Nobody cares, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be up to him to confirm or deny it. Because I put my scoop out there Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
And he didn't shoot me down. I saw people asking him to shoot me down. And
you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing too is that he's again. I want to go back to that thing that you said. Putting pressure on yourself in a new position, right? And one day though, in the future, he's gonna have to answer for all of this, right? Like if you made a bold statement, because fans like them screenshots, you know what I'm saying? They're like, at a later date, got you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like be more clear next time, James Gunn. When you do this, because if you saying that this ain't Superman, this ain't Batman, or this ain't happening, and then this shit comes out in 6 months from now that this is exactly what's happening. People are gonna hop right onto your shit and attach that screenshot and they're gonna go at you, man. And it's like you did it to yourself at that point, and you know, and
setting himself up. Let James Gunn come out with a slate, and Cavill's not Superman. What you think's gonna happen?
Oh
like,
shit!
So it's like let's not even front, right? Let's not even front. Cavill's Superman, right? So why even play with that?
Yeah, why? Yeah, I mean, I thought it was very clear at the you know, the Comic-Con. I thought it was very clear, like on social media leading up to that, and even after that. So it's like, yeah, why play with fire like that? You know, because you know, one of the times you're gonna get burnt, and you know, that's just what it is. And you know, and then another thing is too is like I said, another reason why this is it frustrates me slightly is because even nothing to do with that, it's like you got the weirdos, and it's like every other day the Snyderverse is dead, and I'm like, man, miss me with that. You know, we don't know what's going on until it's going on. You know, to me, it really seemed like in Black Adam, to a degree, they was trying to stay within that continuity. And to me, for now, until this new slate is done, that's enough for me personally. That was, you know, for right now, because this, you know, it takes time to make these films, to crank them out, to really see what's going to happen, you know. And to me, that was fine. But now to try and walk all that back on social media, you know,
that's very weird.
I'll admit that it's pretty weird, because let's go down the list. First, there was the Variety thing saying that Henry Cavill was going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, which obviously didn't happen. But then in an interview with Henry Cavill for MTV, he did say, around that time, he did have a talk with Warner Brothers Discovery around that time. So Variety wasn't completely wrong on that whole thing, but they were off the mark on him being at San Diego Comic-Con. But yeah, at the same time, they were on to something. But so then what happens is Black Adam comes out. Then we have that post-credit scene with Henry Cavill as Superman. And then I think it was like 2 days ago, sometime around that weekend, that Henry Cavill posted a video saying I am back as Superman in a very humble way. But at the same time, he pretty much did say, I am back as Superman. And I gotta admit, it is pretty weird that James Gunn does back down on that whole thing, does back down on Henry Cavill Superman being a main thing. Like, that, I gotta admit, that is kind of strange.
Right. Yeah. And I just want to say shout out to Neil Savage, Chubby Teddy Monster Productions, Mr. J, and many more of you in here that came and went.
That's Still Nation in the chat. Got Still Nation over here.
Yeah. They came to show their support. This right here, let's see, the Movie Raider. I think this is for you too, Sil. Let me see what James can't have a time. I think that's for you. He said, so the Movie Raider says, do y'all think that James Cameron's Avatar franchise will be more profitable and popular than James Gunn and Safran's DCU? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. I don't know if there's an answer to that. But
I mean, like, as of right now, I really can't say. Like, and I am saying this honestly because no one can say as of right now, because officially we don't know about what James Gunn's DC slate is. So until that happens, I think that question is kind of postponed.
Well, it's all about the slate. Yeah. I can't judge Gunn.
We can't judge that yet. We can't judge that yet.
Yeah. But when it comes out, boy, I'm gonna be covering every single title on that slate. Yeah.
I think, and I think my biggest thing is too is like, I've always been like strong advocate for just like, keep hope alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, keep hope alive, man.
Wait and see. Try to be as positive as we can, obviously. And I think that like I said, it's frustrating to me. It's like, just work on this slate. I want these DC heads to just do their job. Stay off of social media, because if you got time to do that, that's more time you can be working on. Because you guys have kept the fans in the dark. You've kept them waiting long enough, so to speak. And I just think that that their time could be spent elsewhere than the shit that I see on social media. That's really just a bunch of meh, nothing.
Yeah.
Really, just I just hope moving forward, like I mean, maybe he's still adjusting to this position. I guess we'll see. Either he's going to tighten up, or he's just going, it's going to turn into a shit show. But I guess we're going to see.
And as far as like keeping up the hope, I mean, because for the Snyderverse, it comes down to, is Zach coming back or not, right? And that's really the question I think we all, have and probably still have in some cases. Again, I've learned to trust Mikey Sutton. He keeps continuously saying he believes that Zach is coming back. As soon as I get something concrete myself, I'm going to blast it everywhere. Like, yo, this is what it says, Zach. And I'm going to really do that. So if people think it was a wrong thing to keep up your hope for it, weird. But I do believe The Rock. The Rock. I know he wants. This is what we hear, that he does want Zach back. And I believe James Gunn is actually a person that will bring Zach back. So, but we haven't guaranteed that nothing was signed yet or anything like that. And
right,
there's no video saying that.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And another thing is, is like, is that just because you're keeping hope alive doesn't mean that that Zach's got to be coming back tomorrow, or that somebody's saying, oh, tomorrow Zach's returning to DC studio. No, it's like, you gotta be realistic about this. These things take time, And the thing is, and I ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a different kind of weird with the studio heads, obviously. James Gunn with his odd behavior, but it's another kind of weird with the same weirdos over there on on social media and on Twitter specifically. With every other day the Snyderverse is dead. You need to quit talking about it. Don't worry about hope. He's never coming back. He's going to be at Netflix for the next 12 years. And I'm like, man, I don't want to hear all that. Come on, man.
This is weird because again, my preface in all this is I believe Gunn is going to bring Zach back, right? So that's one thing. But you have these anti-Snyderverse people or people that's given up or moved on, whatever it is. The fandom is just all over the place right now, but but it's like they want to scrutinize like scoopers and things like that. But then they believe a half-ass report from Reddit saying, "Oh, Zach's locked in for 6 projects." Who wrote that? Where is this information coming from?
And really, this is just like my thing. Like this is just my personal thing. Let's hypothetically say that Reddit post is true. Let's hypothetically say that, because really for Reddit, I kind of take it like a grain of salt, like everyone else. So let's dive into that world. Let's dive into this world where there's 6 Rebel Moon projects being said. Now the thing is that I find interesting is the word projects. He says projects. For the Army of the Dead franchise, there were, as of right now, there are 3 projects going on for the Army of the Dead, which there was Army of the Dead, obviously, which Zach directed. Then there was Army of Thieves, which wasn't directed by Zach, but was directed by the star of the movie, who I'm trying to remember his name, but he played as Dieter. So he directed Army of Thieves. So Dieter directed Army of Thieves, and then we have Army of the Dead Las Vegas, that is confirmed to still be happening, but it's still taking a long time because for those who don't know, animation and what type of animation studio they're going for Army of the Dead Las Vegas, they're going for the Unreal Engine. And basically, Unreal Engine is like a perfectionist company. Like, they are a perfectionist company. So the animation is going to take a while for that to come out. So, and as of right now, from what I understand, the last time I heard, which was a year ago, was that apparently it's gonna be eight. It's gonna be like 8 episodes. Like, apparently 2 of them are directed by Zach, and 2 of them are directed by Jay Oliva. So that's kind of like the last update that I heard of, like the last concrete update I heard of, especially when it comes to the details. But here's the thing: like, for the Army of the Dead franchise, it's not completely directed by Zach. Oh shoot, my computer's acting up. But yeah, as I was saying, like, the Army of the Dead franchise isn't directed solely on Zach. It's directed by other people as well. So then let's go back to this whole Rebel Moon has 6 projects deal. Like other directors, other people could be taking the helm for those projects. Like, I know Sil said some time ago that there was a Blood Axe series being talked about. And another director, I'm just throwing a name out there, like James Cameron, could take the helm for the Blood Axe series. Like, that's and that's really the craziest thing about this is, like, people think, especially when it comes to Snyder and his universe, people are thinking, oh, everything is going to be directed by.
What's happening, fam?
People are thinking, oh, everything is going to be directed by Zach. No, that's not how Hollywood works. You have multiple people taking the helms on projects. Like, for the Flash, for the Snyderverse version of the Flash, you had Rick. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. You had Rick Fujihara doing the Snyderverse version of the Flash. You had David Ayer wanting to do his version of Suicide Squad and the villain side of things. So it's like when I hear people saying that. So when I hear people saying Zach is busy doing the Army of the Dead verse and the Rebel Moon verse, I'm looking at them like, you clearly don't. You really think that, because, like, I find it crazy just how people think that Zach is basically the Hollywood Superman, where he can direct every project of his own creation in his universe. Like, I really just don't get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, where there's a will, there's a way, and Zach coming out and saying that they haven't called him yet, you know what I'm saying? That, to me, that's neither here nor there, because it's like, if they haven't, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't mean that they will. And if they have called him, is that how that they're going to allow? Was that how they would want him to announce it? They're not ready to announce. Clearly, if one thing that Gunn made clear was, like, they're not ready to announce anything moving forward other than what, like what 2023 slate or something like that.
Up to the Aquaman film.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, even if they had called him and got something in the works, you think Zach would just nonchalantly say that over an interview that wasn't even supposed to be about that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And like I said, and if they haven't, that doesn't mean that they won't down the road. Of course, some things take time, and I get all that. I just wish that we could put all this. Everything is dead. Just stop. I just wish we could.
Yeah, well, it's based off of what, right? Like, like you said, Zach's on a a WMMR FM radio station, Philadelphia, doing an interview. And they ask him, you know, hey, what's going on with DC? Like, do you think you really think he's gonna break the story there? Like, I mean, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
But we do gotta
Yeah,
be clear.
and
We do gotta be clear as a fandom. You know, no one. I don't believe no one has claimed that Zach has signed anything yet. So I don't.
yeah,
know,
no one has.
like, what they
No
were
one has really
expecting.
claimed that. Yeah, no one's
I don't
claimed
know
that.
what everyone's expecting Zach to confirm something that I don't. I mean, just me personally. Some people believe Zach already got the call. I don't know, right? As soon as I
Yeah, and
none of us do.
you know, I would do it.
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like when people, and that's the thing too. Like when you also consider like the Andrew Garfield situation. Like even if he did get that call, I don't think that he's allowed to say he got a call anyway, because like because even with that Andrew Garfield leak that everyone found out months before, like months before.
Yeah, he said it was
No,
fake,
like
and he was like
yeah, like he lied his butt off, saying no, I'm not in No Way Home. I'm not in No Way Home. And then in No Way Home, Andrew Garfield is in No Way Home. So when it comes to Zach,
messing up, Jeffrey.
like when it comes to what Zach says about like, oh, I have the call, I don't know if it's true or not, because he was acting very calm when he said that, and really when it comes to it, like I'm just like I said as I'm watching this whole Scoopers, this whole dubbing of Scoopers versus James Gunn thing. Like I'm just kind of like enjoying the show and waiting for something concrete to happen.
I just, you know, honestly, like I said, you know, all it does to me is to me, I wouldn't say I'm enjoying the show. I just really feel, I guess the polite way to put it is I'm just unimpressed. You know, I'm unimpressed as of so far, you know, with the lack of what we have moving forward past 2023, and you know, the again, like we already talked about, you know, we can't know who's playing Superman, who's playing Batman. Like, I just don't think that's a healthy thing to move back into since we've moved out of it. You know, and when there's a will, there's a way, and I do think down the road, like Silas stated, that you know, James Gunn will get you know, David's cut out there, and he will get Zach back at some point that's unknown. I do believe all of them things will happen. You know, just keep the interest up, and you know, and all that. Obviously, but you know, I just think right now a lot of people are just on this negative like grift. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, and like I said, it's just about, hey, I don't like this outlet, so this is my chance to, you know, dump on an outlet. But I'm about to tweet this out right now because I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to see proof that of this claim that Zack Snyder already signed. I would love to see where this is coming from.
Right.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I would love to see this.
Yeah. Like, can anybody like really like confirm any of that? Like, you know, because I remember, I've heard Jeffrey. Me and Jeffrey talked a little bit about that a while back, and you know, I don't think we ever got to the bottom of that. Honestly, I really don't. And that's kind of intriguing, you know, because you know, I really don't feel like I really would be curious to see, you know, where is that exactly coming from, and you know, is that credible to any degree, you know? Man, I don't know. Past 36 fun, like my hot photo here. If you don't get the out of my chat.
So next you bring those bots with us, you know. Bots
say, like my hot. I'm trying to read through the comments. I see 3 in a row. It say, I guess I'm. Nah, I ain't even go. I should put him in timeout, but I ain't even gonna do that. It is what it is. Whatever. But you know, it's just I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of people just trying to spread, you know, negative grifts and bad information around. Really is, you know, and a lot of people, like you said, you know, a lot of people, they're like, you know, I get my information from here, so, you know, and the people that give them that information, you know, of course, they go, it's in their best interest to say, you know, I'm the only thing that's hot and popping, you know, don't go there for your information, come here, you know.
That's all it is.
You know,
I mean,
that's all it is. That's literally all it is, bro. Like, you know, don't listen to them, right? Don't listen. You know, listen to me though. I'm saying, you know, and this is how I've rocked from day one. Even when I was with hanging with the culture nerd and Lightcast, and you know what happened with Lightcast, but it's like, you know, even back then when I was kind of around their circle and I met Mikey Sutton and Geekosity, and I was trying to bring them all together. Right? I was like, hey, if they got sources and you got sources, like, bring it all together.
Yeah.
Like, what's this competition? Because all y'all end up with the same information anyway. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, but that fell apart. No, they didn't like any alliance, and that was a fallout right there. That's kind of why, you know, I kind of pulled away from Culture Nerd. But yeah, it's getting foolish. You know, at this point, it's like most people, they don't care about, oh, this Cooper said this and this Cooper. They just want to know, you know, is this information true? And whoever they listen to, they just want to, has this person been reliable before? If you want to listen to hearsay and all that stuff, that, you know, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's really all it is to it. And I think that a lot of these other folks, you know what I'm saying, they don't have a credible track record as y'all do, Sil. And I think that, you know, how do you in their mind, how do you change that? Well, you create doubt and fear and spread panic and send that shit somebody else's way, you know, trying to cause havoc on this side of things, hoping that it's going to uplift you. But in reality, you know, in the end, the truth always comes out. So, you know, it's a little bit of an annoyance, really. But I see a lot of people that just fall for that over and over again, to the point where it's like, I can't even really rock with you, like, you know, on Twitter, on YouTube or whatever, because, man, you're gullible as hell. You act like you're wet behind the ears still or something. I mean, haven't we been through so many ups and downs and learned our lessons from things that have taken place, big and small, in the Snyderverse community, in the DC community, just in general? Like, you know, I don't know. I mean,
it's a maturity thing. It's a maturity thing, too.
Yeah, because that's exactly why I keep saying that. As of right now, I'm just waiting and keeping hope alive until something concrete happens, because we've been through this for so long that it's kind of like, man, you know what? For now, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens and to keep hope alive. Like, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Yeah, it's only so many ways, you know, to say that, Jeff. I mean, most people are going to just wait.
Oh, we got James Gunn in the chat. He said the goal has never been to create discipline or issues. All I can ask is to remain patient. You'll know soon. Until then, keep flexing.
But yeah, jokes aside, like, yeah, I'm just been patient. I've just been patient.
Yeah. I mean, in most cases, that's all you can do is, you know, wait for confirmed information. And then those who look at insiders, you know, because like I said, I'm fine with people saying I just don't want no inside information, or they don't want to be spoiled. But
exactly.
You know, don't follow scoopers, right? So, you know, you could just not, you know, just wait for confirmed information, or if you want some insight, just know the track record of who you're following. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
All you gotta do.
Anyone that has issues with Dwayne says I have issues with Dwayne, you're living under a rock. One of y'all, man, are being goofy as hell. Oh, sickness. There's certain people instigating some of this shit, like it's just the thing to do. because they don't have happy lives or some shit, bro. I don't know. Hate obsessions.
It's a lot. So we'll keep it real. Like, I mean, like you said, that the negative thing, if someone has a problem, like let's just say they have a problem with me, you know, or maybe they didn't like that, you know, I don't include them in certain things, or who knows, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're going to be negative. It just really shows you the people that's around you and who's really supporting you.
Yeah.
And like you said, T-Flame, like, it's a lot of childish energy out there. I'm just going to keep it real. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if someone's like, again, if I'm going to claim someone's lying, I'm going to have proof and be like, yo, okay, this person's bullshitting every time they talk, right? But don't just follow the crowd like you still in high school. Like, oh, hey, they don't like you, so I don't.
Yeah, jump on the bandwagon.
It's like, get out of here.
So I get a flag too? Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it is, man, it is what it is, man. I just like, you know, it's some people, though, I'm telling you, man, it's a couple of them, man, that have like been around for a minute. I ain't gonna name no names, but I'm like, man, y'all gotta wisen up, man. It's like, I guess certain things can't be taught. I guess I don't know. Like, you know, I guess some people are beyond learning from experiences and stuff. But you know, I mean, did you ever get any response from anybody from that about?
Yeah, that's it's like no one, you know what I'm saying?
No,
like there's no force behind it, you know?
What was that? What did that first pop up at, y'all? That
as far as the Rebel Moon deal, that's what you're talking about, right? Was that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. All I heard just came from Reddit. That's
yeah, me too. Like,
hey, look, and speaking of a Google search, let's.
But yeah, the only time I think Reddit got anything right was when the whole script for The Last of Us Part 2 came out, because I forgot when it was, but that was pretty much when all of the chaos for The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and a lot of people who I asked about that Reddit script about The Last of Us Part 2, and a lot of people said that, yeah, a lot of that stuff Reddit got right. So, but yeah, really for me, when it comes to Reddit, I really don't trust anything on Reddit.
Sometimes
because
it's out there, but sometimes it's completely bull. But what I'm trying to find some keywords to bring up. What did it say? 6-picture deal or something?
Yeah, with
Rebel Moon 6 projects.
Six project deal, maybe. Hold on.
Yeah, that's
Reddit. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I ain't really seeing. Hold on, let me get rid of Reddit out of the middle. Project deal. I mean, the only thing I know of with Rebel Moon is Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I know too. But really, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to do spinoffs. But to immediately go to, oh, we're doing 6, they're doing 6, we got a 6-picture deal. But yeah, like other than Netflix saying some time ago before they got Zach, like apparently there was an article about Netflix saying they wanted their own Star Wars unit. They wanted their own Star Wars universe, and then eventually Zach came along and gave them that in Rebel Moon. So yeah, but yeah, really. But yeah, I don't know anything about the 6 project deal.
Yeah, I'm not saying that nothing like something like that in the future couldn't possibly happen, but it's just be a little odd for that to happen, you know, before Part 1 or Part 2 of Rebel Moon even comes out. You know, I mean, I could see them greenlighting one sequel, but 6 of them. That's, you know, I mean, and this early too, it really sounds like, someone's blowing smoke up our ass. But I mean, yeah,
people believe that anonymous report, but then say like to me, which has never gotten anything wrong. Oh, he's making it up. So it's like it's very weird, very weird energy. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna believe a faceless report though. Cool.
Because I could definitely. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they were to put at least make Rebel Moon a trilogy, but 6 projects like that is pushing it. Like that's pushing it.
Yeah. Funny.
James Gunn really wants your attention, so.
What James Gunn say? Well, I don't work for Geekosity, but like hit up Geekosity. I don't work for Geekosity. Just because I'm cool with Mike, he's like, Geekosity questions. I'm like, oh, hit up Geekosity, bro. What? Shout to James Gunn. Hey, you didn't debunk my scoop, James Gunn. Though. It's been 2 days, bro.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? Fandom Wire just covered my scoop. You didn't debunk me yet, bro.
What's going on, James Gunn?
But yeah,
he didn't read the article. If he didn't read the article, got the Leon, got Silver Nation in the house. That's what's up.
He said James Gunn didn't read it either. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, I looked it up real quick, just to see if any keywords. I used Reddit. Without Reddit, I put six project deal. So but like these things that do, I will speak to this though. I have seen instances like this before, where some crazy shit like this, the most random topic or random information seems to come from nowhere, will get posted to Reddit and then never leave that mofo. Whether it's right or wrong. And usually the ones that ain't correct don't never leave. They just get deaded inside of Reddit. And it's looking like, to me, just from a simple 10-second Google search, basically, that it was deaded inside of Reddit already. So, but I do know a lot of people were I do remember back when that was like, people were talking about that, and I haven't, and I forgot all about that until Jeffrey brought that up earlier, and I never did know like what ended up coming of that, becoming of that. What was the what if was the information correct or not correct? But yeah, very odd. But people, I mean, like if there was something to go off of, or some kind of credible source or credible person even attached behind it, maybe we could humor it and discuss it further. I would like to,
yeah,
but it's not looking.
When people ask me anything, this is just my own kind of rule. But someone says, hey, is this report true? I say, well, where's the source of it, right? Is it something, and if they like, oh, I just got it from Reddit, like a faceless guy on Reddit, it's like, I'm not even gonna entertain it. Anyway, you could have made it up, right? I could have made it up. It's like,
right.
Don't put your name to something. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. And back then, who is this? Who's this guy on this stream impersonating Sil? The real Sil would never do a stream on a Sunday.
I only guest appearances on Sundays. I'll say that.
Oh man. He said, what's that say? Leon of the New Geeks. He said, hashtag Cell Nation, hashtag Mikeyverse, hashtag Cool Table.
That's what's up. In the house.
But I noticed he said the only cool table is the
he don't like the cool table. My good James good. It's something he has against the cool table, man. Very personal.
He said it's personal. He said the only cool table is the one where me and myself and Peter sat.
Oh man.
Oh man. Good time, man. Yeah, I don't know. He's hold on. Let's see. We got sickness. He said a couple of them Scoobies been trying to get into the movie news and entertainment lane for a minute. Their hate is obvious, but people follow it without knowing where the pathetic hate is coming from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's it ends up being something personal and petty, and that's why I say I just rest on my information. The people that talks to me logically, like T Flames, and we had other people that come by the channel. Jeff is another omniverse, right? Jeff is on another level than anybody. Right, so I can't even put Jeff but but anyone that rationally looks at it, and especially like T Flames, you've seen my channel, Jeff as well too. I will go after a false story.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will do that.
Quiet as kept, and I'm not trying to make this a big deal, but I'm trying to prove a point when I say this. I had to correct one of Mikey's stories, right? And It wasn't like, oh, Mikey's wrong. It was just like, no, something changed. And I was like, hey, Mikey, I got an update, right? And we actually talked about it live. So it's like, understand people that has a problem with my platform, they don't really watch my videos. They really don't.
They don't watch it. They're mad because they come the ones that get and I also seen this too is it don't even matter. I ain't gonna say their name. I don't remember if it was them or not. I heard somebody said something about what they say, something about getting locked out of the cool table or locked out of the Seal Nation, and now they gotta they can't get back in to even be able to watch or some shit because it's bullshit or something. I don't know when all that bullshit was going on, but it's like, man, y'all are just hating because now you can't just get up in there and troll and cause a disturbance when real reporting is going on. Like, if you ain't watching or subscribed or partaking in the other videos or in the live streams, it's like, right, what would anybody want you up in there for too? And the fact you're saying this right now is exactly why your ass ain't up in there. Like cause and effect. Like, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Like I said, it is what it is.
Why, and it's a life lesson in a sense. I mean, it's over geek shit, which is weird, but it's like, but it's like, just rock with the people that's really rocking with you. Like if they're like, oh, I hate Sil Abdul, I hate Mikey. They're just okay. Just go over there somewhere,
right. Yeah,
that's all. I'm gonna talk about the same. Like the KC Wash and stuff. I don't want to get you in the middle of nothing, T Flames, but it's like I'm not going to continuously talk about that same person every day if I don't like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Since I don't like them, I don't talk about them every day, right?
Yeah,
so, that's how it works.
Yeah, but I think a lot of certain other individuals, they like I think they like bringing up in a hate, in like I said, a negative grift way. They like bringing up you guys a lot, because they're trying to jump on what y'all are doing. You know what I'm saying? And how's the saying go? Negative exposure is better than no exposure. I don't know how that goes. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Really, my saying is like the worst thing. Really, my thing is like the worst thing you can do to someone who's trying to get attention is not respond at all. Like literally, like that's really how some rap beefs have been done, where someone did a diss track to somebody and they did it, and the other person just didn't respond to him at all. Leon
said it's over geek shit, which is weird. Exactly.
It's so weird. Like people just take a step back. It's like, yo, you mad because of what I said about superhero movie? Hey, that's rough, bro. You that mad? I'm saying that's just because some of these people, hey, I'm not trying to make fun of them personally, but some of y'all got wives, y'all got families, children. It's like
Exactly.
really. Like,
Yeah, because even when it comes to like the Star Wars sequel trilogy, like even I don't like even I still to this day still don't like it. And the thing is, like, I still don't like it, but I just don't talk about it. And I'm still seeing people on Twitter who's saying like, man, I hate Disney Star Wars and all that stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I don't really care about the sequel trilogy at all. But I'm still watching some of the Disney Star Wars content because some of them are actually pretty good. Like the projects themselves being alone and being standalone stuff are pretty good. Like the Obi-Wan show, that's pretty good, and I really can't wait for that Ahsoka series. Like I really like even though I don't like the how they did the Star Wars sequel trilogy, like I'm still watching Star Wars stuff. Period.
Right. And Leon of the New Geeks, hey, that's the saying I was looking for. The saying he said, the saying goes, "There's no such thing as bad publicity." Yep, that's what it was. That's what I was picking my brain for, and that's what I was trying to say. Thank you for that, because I was like, wait, how's it go? But yeah, that's the saying. Yeah, and it's true, and it's so true too, though. Let's see what we got here. Oh, hold on. Sickness. Yeah, he said that's the crazy part. Like, what if are they even tripping on it in the first place? LOL. Literally, it's just movie shit. Go do your own thing, dog. Find happiness or some shit.
They want to be upset, man. And like, I gave them hope. That's another thing. Like, you gave me hope. You give people hope.
What? Hey, they sound like what's his name? The Archer and Avengers.
Oh,
and,
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye Endgame.
Yeah.
What do you say? Don't do that. Don't give me hope.
But that's really the thing. And then
people are saying, how dare you give them hope? They're like, how dare you give other people hope? I got a white knight for everyone and protect them from your scoop. Weird energy.
Really?
Weird energy, bro.
Yeah, like really think about that. Like even when it comes not to being scoopers, like why is it bad to have hope? Like I get like you don't want to get people this like. The only reasonable thing I can think of is you don't want other people to be disappointed. But to actively say, yo, don't give people hope. You are doing the wrong thing. Like, what?
Right here.
Oh my.
Don't give me hope. Don't do it.
That's most of them. That's most of these negative grifters out there.
They just like, they're like, don't give them hope, but don't give anyone else hope.
Right.
I imagine
don't
walking
give
up to
him hope.
people. Yeah, they're like hitting up people. Is he giving you hope right now? This right now. How dare you give you hope? Now tweet us up. See? He's giving hope. See?
And Bad Dan says right here. And Bad Dan says right here that there's YouTubers I don't like. I just don't watch them. Simple. Like,
Right.
yeah, you could just do that. Just don't watch them. Like, because it's kind of like me because it's really kind of like the same thing with me and music, especially when it comes to the new modern mainstream music. I really don't listen to that stuff. Like, I listen to a lot of nerdcore independent stuff, and that's really kind of like my bread and butter when it comes to rap. I just don't listen to the mainstream stuff because it's not my thing. And it's
Bad Dan, raised a good point. There's so much stuff to love. Why obsess about the stuff that you hate? And that's something from like a while ago that I was saying when we had so many hardcore antis. You got your casual antis. Then we have what I call the hardcore antis. They ain't just anti Zack Snyder. They're like anti DC in general. Like, and it's like, so what are you getting involved in a chat for a DC related chat on a DC related Twitter page, or on anything around that? It's like, I don't, you're getting yourself all worked up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Actually, yeah, go ahead. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's wild to me. Some people get like I hit you up on the DL later on. So I just want something I wanted to tell you. I thought was kind of funny, but about something.
It's funny though, that's how they roll though, man. And that's why I always say critical thinking.
Yeah.
Things got to add up. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's just I just, like, me personally, it's like a lot of people, what I'm saying, like that come into my channel, like into my videos, because it's like my schedule is hectic, and I appreciate you sliding on here, still, I really do. It's like the way with my work schedule, my family, like it's so hard for me to do, to stream at decent hours. That's good for everybody, So I don't do a lot of streaming. I know you call it over on your channel, the replay crew shit. That my whole channel has been conditioned for replay because they like unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? And but I get some people, so I always go back because usually I don't see the reactions, a lot of the reactions and comments live. So I go back, after I post and drop something, I get done working or doing whatever, and I'll see once in a while, people that is not your casual viewer or whatever, and then they just causing a disruptance, like a just going off, and it's very, very weird. Like it's like it's not only do they not want you you to give them hope or for you to be hopeful, like they want to make sure that you ain't giving somebody else like hope, like it's crazy, and it's like I think that's one thing that was clear though, that I thought was made clear when we made the Snyder Cut happen, the whole fandom, what I'm saying, that's proof enough, like that these things can be done, if they take time though, and if the interest is there, and if the money, and they operate off of the money, the money was there, and and right now, like I said, I think they would be crazy to not be keeping continuity moving forward to some degree. That doesn't mean that they won't be able to do their own thing for the most part, but if any of these movies moving forward are anything like Black Adam, which they could or could not be, but if they're anything like Black Adam, I would say that was loosely canon, or just depending on how you look at it. I mean, you had the,
I'm at the point, T-Flame, I'm gonna be really honest. This caused some Snyder fans, I guess, to turn over too. But I'm like, at this point, I know Cavill's back, Ben Affleck's back. I'm sure they're gonna bring Zach back. I actually don't care about canon anymore, bro. I actually don't care what suit he's supposed to have. You know what? As long as you get them all back and just do something new, man. I don't even
care.
Because really for me, I'm really. Like I said, you said that I'm kind of like in my own omniverse, as you put it, which I think is really kind of accurate, because like the thing is like there's kind of like this thing that I do on YouTube, on just everywhere, where I'm just kind of looking at everything, like the Bat Channel, like Trey the Bat Channel has this nickname for me called the Watchtower, which is also pretty accurate because I'm just looking at everything, just kind of watching everything and seeing how everything turns out. And yeah, like really, like if I were to describe myself in a word during this whole process, is really kind of like that gif where Arnold and his friend are watch where Arnold has these goggles and has these goggles, and his friend says, "Hey, what do we do next?" And then Arnold just says, "We wait." Like that is just me. Like I am saying, like I'm Arnold, just saying, "We wait." Like there's so much info, we just wait for everything to come into fruition. We wait for the green light. We wait for the end of the tunnel. Like I'm just waiting.
Right.
Funny, bro.
Is this I ain't gonna bring in a bunch of negativity, but is this Jarbo?
I guess he's mad to Savage Savage Bat's not here, So I'm not gonna speak. I'm not gonna speak for Mikey either. So I don't.
Yeah, like what is going on with that?
Talk to them. Yeah, you should talk to them about that.
Yeah, I ain't trying to bother y'all. I ain't trying to stir up a ruckus, and I just seen it, and I'm like, what? It was so funny. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's really nothing to say. Like you're mad that someone said something. Hey, go talk to them, bro. That's all.
I mean,
that's all you can do.
I don't know. I don't know. I really, honestly, to be 100% truthful, I don't know if that's Jarbo or not, but I don't know anything about none of that shit.
I don't know.
I really don't.
That's all,
Yeah.
Like I said, I know that. Look at man. To be fair, well,
I'm sorry, T-Fun. Just in general to respond to that. I don't think any of us is calling for like James Gunn to be physically harmed.
Yeah.
No. We can speak for ourselves with that. I'll just say that. Now, will I scrutinize what he does? Yeah, I'm gonna do what I've always done on my channel. But like the idea today came out that he confirmed that these video games will be somehow connected with the DCU 10-year plan. That's exciting to me. That's
really exciting that's really exciting for me.
I'm gonna give him props because that reminded me. I don't know if Jeff and T-Fun. Well, Jeff probably wasn't even born yet. I don't know, but 20 years ago, the Matrix had
entered the Matrix.
Entered the Matrix. Reloaded.
Yep, so, entered the Matrix. I remember that game. Yeah, I remember that game.
Jada Pinkett left, it was a scene in the movie, and she's like, "I'm about to go on this mission or whatever, this assignment," and then that was the game. You play the game to see her assignment. I was like, "Oh, that's dope." Yeah, stuff like that. That's a good idea. Yeah. But now, if James Gunn comes out and says Weasel Trilogy, then I'm gonna roast that, right? I'm not gonna threaten his life or nothing.
Yeah, because really, I'm not. Because really, I'm not. Because really, I'm just.
That game, so I got it when it was brand new. That game you're talking about,
Yeah.
I love
it.
And the reason why I remember it so well is because then when they followed it up with Neo, then the one they made after it was actually about Neo because he wasn't in that one, right?
Yeah.
And the next one they followed it up with on the next consoles on like the regular what was it, the Xbox and the PS2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Neo into the Matrix or something.
Path of the Matrix, the Path of Neo.
So the graphics though in the prequel to it were better than the Neo into the Matrix, but the Neo into the Matrix was out cold though at the time that it came out. Like with the I thought they could have did even more with it, but the as far as the the combat and the action, the flying, and I thought that was dope. I was hooked on it, man, when that came out. But yeah, so I remember that. But yeah, I just like he was saying, to be clear, no, I would absolutely not call for any violence or anything like that towards
No to that.
Yeah. But to be and that's what I was saying in general, was you know, to be fair, I do think that everybody absolutely has the right to critique studio head James Gunn. You know, obviously, you know, where there obviously there's a line to that as well as there is with anything.
Yeah.
You know, now, but I'm not here to tell y'all what y'all can't do or try to Twitter check your tweets and shit. You know, Twitter
let's screenshot it. Oh, what'd you say about James Gunn, bro? Like, bro, like, hey, if I don't like, you know, if I don't want to see Batmite versus Peacemaker, I'm gonna roast it. If that, bro.
Right, and I believe that's absolutely everybody's right, man. As a fan, you know, like, you know, I mean, that's what historically speaking, like that's what's always been done with any franchise, with, you know, with any studio, with actors, directors, you know, all of that shit, studio heads. So I don't really see nothing wrong with critiquing them. You know, to start a conversation. The other stuff, though, like I said, I have absolutely no knowledge of any of that stuff, so I can't speak on the other. So, Music City Soul said, Weasel spinoff series coming soon. LOL. man, oh man, I hope not. I just want Batman's thoughts. I just want DC. I just want the best DC possible, with Snyder finishing his story, not directing everything.
Yeah.
But, or, you know, that's it. That's all. And like I said, you know, I mean, the only thing, like I said, with me, JL 2 and 3, like I said, you know, I absolutely think that there's no way he could not direct that. Anything else, though, I mean, bring him back as an advisor down the road or something. Who knows? But
yeah.
You know, yeah, that's what I said, too. You know, and I'm not so hardcore with it to where it's like Zach's gotta handle every project in the universe. It's just like, we're gonna get some good stuff. We're gonna get some good stuff.
Crazy.
We're gonna get a mixed bag, and that's fine, because then that means it's something there for everybody, you know. But the fans have the right to critique whatever the hell they want. I mean, that's kind of like the only right as being a fan is that you really got that you can really do, you know. So I don't see nothing wrong with that personally. Leon said, y'all don't want the Batmite trilogy? Hell no.
But
I'm mute. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, I agree with you, though. I mean, everyone has a choice. You know, I'm gonna continue to rock, like I said, the same way I have been, and you know, just like when Matt Reeves' The Batman came out, a lot of people got mad at me because I didn't like the film, right? And that carries over to today. It's like, hey, I'm gonna have my opinion, but I mean, there is a thin line. Like I said, there is a point where you can go too far, and I get that. But if someone else goes too far, like I said, I ain't got nothing to do with them. But what we're doing, there's gonna be some interesting conversations, you know, when that slate comes out.
Yeah, because really, I'm the same thing with you, so because really, I didn't like the Joker. Like I didn't hate it. It's just that I just didn't like it. Like, it wasn't just my type of movie. And the thing is, like, I didn't watch it when the hype, and to me, and for the record, like, I didn't watch it when all the hype was going on about it. Like, when it was on the road to making $1 billion. I'll be like straight up, I didn't watch The Joker until a year after it came out. Like, I just really wasn't interested into the Joker like that. Like the Joker movie like that. And so when I finally saw it, I just thought of it as kind of not my movie.
Mm-hmm. Right. So does I don't know if that's the real Jarbo. So does Jarbo just follow y'all in the cool table around, or
I'll be honest. I don't talk to Jarbo.
I don't think I've ever even seen him on this channel.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him on the channel in a live stream, but yeah,
you know,
hey,
it's hot over here. You know what I'm saying? It's hot right now, bro. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, we're talking about stuff, man. Like I said, stuff that we love, our hobbies and all this geek stuff, man.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what it's about. That's what I'm gonna, keep my channel about, man. And so, because someone said, "Oh, well, I don't know if you saw the stream from what was it yesterday?" Wart Stew. Y'all know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know roughly who that is.
So he's
roughly
familiar with my channel, and we actually was working on getting him on the channel for a while, and he finally was able to come yesterday, right? And people, perceived like we had this big beef, me and Ward, because
What?
they perceived I was taking shots at him, which actually was, but but me and him would DM later, and like we would laugh about it because we were just trolling each other. We was like, bro, I was just playing. He's like, yeah, I was just playing, and we just leave it like that, right? So he came on my show, on my Saturday show, and he was like, yo, like when I said I was gonna come on here a while ago, 20 people DM me and said, no, don't go on Still Abdul's channel. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Bad news. I was like, dang, bro. Like, where's all this coming from? It's that negative drift,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All we did was end up talking about, what do you think about James Gunn? You think Henry Cavill's back? And end up just being two geeks talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
That's all we doing, man. People, it gets weird.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, people you can't have a conversation, unless you have that conversation, and I've seen a little bit of War Stew stuff. I've never spoke with him directly or anything like that, but he seems to be all right, dude. But yeah, that just goes to circle back to that whole certain people, man. Y'all must be doing something right because if you do, if you ain't got haters, you ain't. That's what my mom always used to tell me when I was a little boy. Man. Say that for real. She say, if you ain't got no haters, then you ain't doing something right.
Yeah.
I'm saying like
it just comes with the territory, I guess.
Homie came over to your channel bringing up stuff that had nothing to do with you. It's like, dang. Hey, man. I don't know what to say about that.
I was like, I was like, man, I didn't even know whether to bring the comment. I was like, this is so off topic. What is going on? I know. I put it up. It's like, click it down. I'll put it back. I was like, I don't know.
we here talking about, saying, can Zach come back? And so like, he come in here, the French Revolution, this happened. What was we even talking about that? Like, what we It's all good though, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, man. It's all love.
He said, Leon of New Geek said, yeah, Garbo and his crew like to stalk us. You never catch me over there on their bullshit, though.
That's funny.
No, I mean, it is what it is. But all right, fellas, man, it's been a great live stream, man. I'm gonna hop out of here. Man, thank you, Sil, for sliding over here. Really appreciate it. It's awesome having you on. And Jeffrey, as always, thank you for coming in, popping in. Yeah, man, I think we pretty much covered like everything that I wanted to talk about on here. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate again, Sil. I appreciate you and Sil Nation coming over. And you know what I'm saying? And having
brought a couple bots with us. I apologize for some bots showed up. I'm like real bots.
Real had it, Oh man. Enough said. I'm just having a rundown thinking about everything in my head right now.
So on Twitter, somebody gonna say they're gonna screenshot this. They be like, "Still up to a physically threatened James Gunn."
T-Flame endorses his message of death.
T-Flame threw his hand in the ring with Seal Nation threatening James Gunn.
Joffrey Warfield on the fence.
Is still in his own lane. Amazing, bro.
Oh man. But all right, yeah, guys. Thank you for being on here, man. You know, and thank you everybody that came participated. I think we had a lot of good laughs, good time, man. Talked about a lot of the topics I wanted to talk about and everything, man. So I'll say all in all, man, you know, success, a good time and all that, you know, and you know, to many more. Hopefully, let me know, Sil. I'll let me know down the road. You know what I'm saying? If you got an opening, I think you said Sunday nights you do guests and stuff like that. So sometime down the road, you know, when you can slide me in, just let me know, and we'll make it happen.
Definitely sounds good, bro.
But all right, guys.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.